rebuilding that identity after I left my job was quite a process. But it's one of the things I'm most grateful for. Like sometimes, by the way, I'm fully aligned right now with what I'm doing. I don't feel like I'm working. I enjoy every moment of it. But having that freedom, to take your kids to school, to go on an impromptu date with your wife at lunchtime, and nobody to, to tell you, hey, how come you're not at your desk, is a big deal.
But I suspect there's a difference between a dream chaser and a dream catcher.
Thanks all for tuning in to Dreamcatchers, where we make things happen. Dreamcatchers was formally launched to unlock the hidden potential in successful, self-motivated individuals who desire to take their life's work to the next level but need support to evolve. We are a collective group of professionals with various backgrounds that use our talents to assist those individuals in realizing their wildest dreams by providing education, inspiration, and direction. This podcast is where we share the lessons we've learned along the way to catching our dreams and give you some context around the how and the why to each approach to put you further ahead on the journey to catching your dream. Are you ready?
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Dream Catchers podcast. I'm your host, Jerome, and I'm here with Mehdi, Khachani. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm good, Jerome. Thank you so much for having me.
Man, I'm so excited to be with you down here in Miami at Go Abundance. I think I'm in your hometown right now.
Absolutely.
Well, it's not really your hometown. Tell the listeners where you're actually from.
I'm from Morocco. Yes, that's where I was born.
What? You came
Eh.
across the pond? You came across the ocean, huh?
Pretty big pond called the Atlantic Ocean.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you might hear me a little chipper. Mehdi just left his job. He's out of the rat race. He's out of the W-2. My brother, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You've exited the matrix.
I know.
How on earth did you do that?
It took a lot of discipline and building a vision. What's interesting is that it's not something that I've done just overnight.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it probably for the last 7 years.
No way.
And working at it one step at a time. It's a big decision, especially when you rely on that income from the W-2 to pay your bills.
Right.
So I had to be very strategic about it and make sure that when the time came for me to go full-time entrepreneur, I was ready for it.
Now, most people have no idea how to create income outside of their job.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you figure that piece out? Because you didn't go cold turkey. See, I did it the wrong way. I just walked out. There was no income. I'm living off savings. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But you did it the right way. So what was the strategy and how'd you figure that piece out?
I think definitely real estate played a big part of a big role in creating this passive income on the side. But aside from that, I think in addition to having passive income, what's really important to have multiple streams of income. So I was inspired in creating income outside of my W-2, but having multiple of those. So I started with property management. Essentially, my wife and I were living in a property that we thought was not managed properly, and so we took over the management. And that was our first property under management. And then from that point on, we started adding on properties. And since we were also investing in real estate, buying rental properties that we rented long term, we took those properties under our own management and did that one property at a time.
So, all right, wait. So you're telling me that you live in a building, or is this just a house?
No, it's no longer the building I live in. That was in 2016 when we started a property management company. We took over the management of the building that we were living in.
How many units are in this
It
building?
was just 20 units.
You say
in Miami Beach.
Just 20 units.
Just 20 units.
It's a good start right there.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the rents are, but there's considerable rents here in Miami. But
yeah.
how do you get the gusto to say it's not being managed right? I got this.
I have to tell you the story because my wife was actually, she brings it up from time to time. First of all, I had zero experience in managing properties. So I just knew that we could make our building better. But I was also an owner in that building, so it was a little bit complicated, and I wanted to do it. I really believed that I could make the building a better place. And there were people on the board that were against it, and I built the case that we would be the right people to do it. And there is some license that's required to actually become a property manager of a building that size. And I went through the process of getting the license, and I prepared a presentation that I shared with the board to demonstrate that we are the right people for that management. But some elements on the board were against me taking over the management, and persistence helped me eventually win them over. And in so many occasions, as we were trying to get that account, our first account, my wife told me, Mehdi, just let it go, man. It's okay. We can do something else. And I told her, no, this building is going to be managed by us with full confidence. The certainty of success was there, and eventually we got it.
What gave you so much confidence?
Inspiration, just knowing that we could make it a better place. And I know, and this is something that maybe I've built through experiences over time, but when I really want something, somehow with hard work, I get to it. And even though there were a few obstacles along the way, such as the license and having some people against it, just by working hard and making the case for it and being persistent, I got it eventually.
So you got it. First one, owner, occupant, doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then what?
Then what?
Do you quit? Do you?
No.
No?
That was just one property, and
Okay.
it took a long way. Actually, right now we manage over 600 units.
What?
Yes, in the Miami area.
600 units in
Yeah,
Miami.
Yeah.
What type of income on a monthly basis, not to you, but rent, gross income for the whole property management? What is 600 units in around?
It's interesting because actually some of our units are part of an HOA, homeowner association, so there
okay.
isn't really a rent associated with those units. But it's pretty substantial. I can tell you, on the properties that have investors that we manage. I mean, we charge anything between 4.5% to 8 or 10% of the rent.
So for the listeners, there's this. If you got a lot of units, you charge a smaller percentage because you got people working on
you
site.
have more volume.
You got the payroll. If you don't, like a single family, a condo, something like that, that's when you're up there in the 10% range, and there's nobody working on site. So just to give you that perspective. So you're running HOA properties, you're running properties for investors, you're collecting rent, you're collecting HOA fees, 600 places. How do you keep all those keys straight, man?
That's true. We don't think too much about the keys, huh? No, I mean, we have systems in place, and we got organized. Actually, we have a very good software that helps us manage all the transactions. But the keys are in a secure place, and we can we manage to check them out and in when needed. And yeah.
So I still don't get it. How do you go from 20 to 600? What happened? Like, how do you win that business? Did you say with certainty, I'm going to manage this HOA and I'm going to manage? How does this work?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was word of mouth. People were happy with the work we were doing in one building. Actually, some of the homeowners had owned several properties in other buildings and thought that we could do a better job, and they just called on us to do it. But eventually, we shifted the focus away from HOAs and started managing apartment buildings for investors, and that is actually a more from an economic standpoint, more attractive
For sure.
proposition for a property manager. So strategically, we've made that switch. But what I can also tell you is that the beginnings are always very slow, and that's why sometimes it's even better to acquire an existing business rather than building it from scratch. So I can tell you, for the first maybe 4 or 5 years, our growth was there, but it's not the same growth that we're seeing today. Today, we're getting clients left and right, and we have a well-known brand in the Miami area, and business comes to us, and we're actually a lot more selective about the customer we want to have on board.
So, all right, you gotta tell me, when did you realize that you could leave the W-2?
So I have two little boys, and it's a big responsibility, and my income was pretty good.
He's an
And,
electrical engineer by training, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
He leaves that part out, but it's there. He was
yeah.
doing well. It wasn't a $30,000 or $40,000 a year job he left
No.
behind.
No. And so I had to make some adjustments, and in the end it came down to the numbers. We know more or less how much we're spending on a monthly basis, and we had to make sure that we had enough income to cover for that, including healthcare, because that's a big one when you don't have a W-2. You need to start thinking about how you're going to pay for your health.
And so you did the math.
hmm
And were you able to get your income outside of the job to cover your expenses? Were you a little short, or did you replace your whole income? Like, how did it go?
Yes, I would say we covered our expenses. My wife Jessica and we've been along the way also investing in real estate. Currently, we own 60 properties,
Mm.
and we are using that rental income pretty much to pay for everything we need in terms of expenses, and like we call it in Go Abundance, that's kind of financial freedom. So we could technically not work at all and be okay covering our expenses using the rental income. And in addition to that, we have the businesses, which are the property management, the GC, the brokerage, and investment to generate incremental income that then we use for buying more properties.
Wait. If I feel like you're getting it every way. You got rental income.
Mm-hmm.
You're a general contractor. You're
Mhm.
licensed as a general contractor.
Yes, I'm the qualifier on the business.
So are you doing work for others, or are you only working in your
Both.
portfolio?
Both.
Both.
The idea was that as we started serving these investors and caring for the properties, a lot of work, maintenance work, capital expenditure work, larger projects came out of the management. And we called on vendors, got several quotes, and we were not very happy with the service we got and the time it took to take care of the repairs and the capital expenditure projects. So what we decided is to build our own maintenance crew and then start offering general contracting and remodeling services to our investors. And they really appreciated that because the turnaround was much faster and they got better quality work.
And so you wanted to control the resource.
Yes, have everything under one roof in some way.
Vertically integrated. And so
Mhm.
general contractor, rental income, property management, and brokerage?
Yes, sir.
So tell me tell me about the brokerage piece, because we haven't talked about that at all. Those can be some nice checks.
Oh, yeah, especially in a market like Miami, because the property values are so high here. But the brokerage is a very interesting business. The key is really to bring in the right talent to participate in the operations of the business. But our targets for the end of this year is to have 50 realtors under our roof.
50. 50.
50, yeah.
That's almost as many houses as you have, or doors, however you want to count your 60.
Yeah, so we're on track to hit 50 realtors by the end of the year. And
How do you find 50 people with licenses ready to go? Come on, Mehdi, you're making it look too easy, man.
so it's several things. I mean, obviously we advertise that we're hiring realtors. That's one part of it, but I think the most important part of it is culture.
Okay, tell me more. We're having real talk now. Culture is my thing.
Culture is everything.
Yeah.
Honestly, and if there are listeners that have businesses or want to grow businesses, I think it's so important for me as the CEO of the company, the JMK company. My role is make sure that everybody is aligned on the culture and to hire people based on the culture we have in the company. And we have some pillars that we focus on that we want our people to identify with.
Give me the pillars.
So teamwork is one of them. We really want people to help each other as we try to deliver our services. Constant improvement is another. Our culture is all about becoming better version of ourselves as individuals, but also as a company. Customer focus. We want the customer to be king to some degree. Passion. So we really want to be have people that are passionate about what they do.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people want to unlock their ultimate potential but lack the strategy, support, and stamina necessary to achieve their major goals. They often try to overcome these challenges by trying to do it on their own, causing frustration, fatigue, and eventually failure. We have developed a model for a center life, aka the red pill, to help them bolster their beliefs, gain clarity on their path to success, and provide accountability as they take action on their goals. When they take the red pill, they rapidly accelerate attainment of their goals and begin to experience a life of significance and impact. Want to find out more? Hop over to jeromemyers.co. Now, let's get back to the episode. That's a good combination. I mean, done right, you don't ever have to worry about those folks being in the marketplace and representing you or the brand. So that's exciting. So what are they selling? Are they doing like houses? Are they doing commercial buildings?
Yes.
Are they doing
so we have two divisions. We have a residential division where we sell homes, and then so essentially we're seeking listings, and we also represent buyers as they want to buy. And at the same time, we have a commercial division. So we specialize in value-add multifamily properties.
Come on, man, cut it out. You're doing all the stuff.
Maybe I actually suffer from the shiny object syndrome, but no, I'm kidding. But we are vertically integrated. In terms of the multifamily, we buy multifamily. So the 60 units that I mentioned to you that we own, those are multifamily properties. And then even though we started managing initially homeowner associations, we shifted our focus towards working with investors, and we specialize there too in multifamilies.
Whoa. So are you buying like 20 units? You're buying 5? Like, what does it look like in a multifamily transaction? We just exited one today, so I'm so curious.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for you. How many units?
23. It's our first deal.
God.
First deal, bought in 2017, less than a 5-year hold. Worked out really well for us. Bought at 55, sold at 155 a door. Yeah.
That's incredible, man. I'm so happy for you. Well, let me tell you, in terms of size, obviously we try to be strategic. You know what they say, you work on bigger deals, it's the same amount of work, you just get paid more eventually.
I don't believe them, but go ahead.
But exactly, that's what people say, and there is some truth in it, but I think there's value in any property where you can identify equity on the table. So you mentioned buying at 50 and selling at 150 a door. I mean, it could be a 1-unit property, it could be a 100-unit property. You wouldn't say no to a deal like that. And especially if it's a value add property or distressed property, you know that the price you're getting into at is not what it should be had the property been taken care of, had it not had deferred maintenance, etc. So we solve problems for people that want to sell their properties, and we take over. We try to create the best community possible for tenants, and in the process we make a profit as we improve the community.
Doing good while doing well. Good for the pocketbook, well for the
Uh-huh.
community, huh?
Yeah.
I love that. And so, when you think about your general contracting business, are you spending more time doing like renovations for your own portfolio, or are you out in the marketplace?
No, I mean, we have leaders for each business, so
Wow.
I am kind of I'm I'm orchestrating how the businesses operate. I work on partnerships. My time is primarily focused on the investment side of the business, so identifying new properties to acquire, whether it's for ourselves or for investors. But at the same time, we've placed leaders in each business, so property management, brokerage, and GC. I work with each one of them on a regular basis. When they face a roadblock, I intervene, but my time is mainly focused on the investment, identifying new investments.
That is where you make the most money per hour.
Absolutely.
Doing
You
one
got it.
deal can outdo all the work that some of that stuff
Yeah.
can happen over the course of the year.
Absolutely.
So I think your talent is well placed. And so, are you? How are you sourcing deals right now? The market's super tough, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
How are you finding deals that work?
It's a relationship. It's a good knowledge of the market, because I look at deals almost daily.
You got
And
that much deal flow.
yeah, I mean, yes,
That's beautiful.
not all of them are are candidates for acquisitions, but no, I look at the market where it is, and we don't underwrite all of them. And what happens is, and I highly recommend this to your listeners, whatever market you decide to focus on, underwrite. Underwrite, and analyze deals, because what you're going to do is you're going to build a sixth sense. And that sense is going to help you eventually identify the outlier. And that outlier is that one property that you want to acquire and turn around.
Take action immediately. Don't let
Mhm.
anybody else get to it.
Mhm.
What I say is run to the deal, build a fence around it, decide whether or not you want it, and then if you want it, then you can walk because you're inside
Mhm.
the fence. But some people take their time getting to the deal, and somebody else already put it under
Exactly.
contract.
Yep.
So I run first, slow down, make sure you do great due diligence,
Mhm.
so you know what you're actually buying, or as much as you can before you close, because there's always surprises. And I'm sure you get to see a lot of that in the property management
Mhm.
business, right?
Absolutely.
But man, this is so exciting, man. Like to see somebody exit the matrix and
Oh my
build
God, the
their
rat
own
race, right?
thing, right? Yeah, I mean, but you built your own thing. You came here, what, after high school?
Yeah, after high school.
Studied in the universities, climbed the ladder. That day that you decided that you didn't want to be in corporate anymore, you remember what happened?
It was such a relief because I've always planned way ahead of time what I wanted to do. Whenever I committed to a new job or new activity, I always thought about, okay, what's the next thing and the next thing after that. So, and that's something I really appreciate about the discipline to plan ahead. And so I didn't, when it happened, I didn't realize it was actually there. It's like I've been working on it for so long that when it happened, I was, first of all, you always have doubts about surviving without your job. But
That addiction to the paycheck is
oh
what I
my
call
God,
it.
yeah, it's addiction, and it's so bad for you because it gets you comfortable, and you feel like from my perspective, your identity becomes the identity of your job.
Start introducing yourself with your title,
Exactly,
your company.
and you forget that actually you're completely separate from the job you're doing.
Yikes.
So rebuilding that identity after I left my job was quite a process. But it's one of the things I'm most grateful for. Like sometimes, by the way, I'm fully aligned right now with what I'm doing. I don't feel like I'm working. I enjoy every moment of it. But having that freedom, to take your kids to school, to go on an impromptu date with your wife at lunchtime, and nobody to, to tell you, hey, how come you're not at your desk, is a big deal.
But I suspect you're more disciplined than maybe you were before, because I don't think you can build what you've built without that piece. So there's the freedom piece, but I don't want to leave people thinking that there's no discipline required on the exit, and I don't know if you can confirm that or not.
Yeah, no, you need more discipline. I mean, to be on your own and not have someone behind you tell you, hey, these are your goals for the quarter. You need to set your own goals, and you need to have a pace, and you need to keep going, because eventually you want to grow and you want to create more security for yourself.
Mm. Mehdi, what dream are you most focused on catching next?
So, you know, my dream right now is to enjoy every moment I can with my kids.
Yeah.
That's really my passion. Like to
And your wife.
and my wife, absolutely. As a family, for us to build experiences. So, actually, we're gonna be traveling to Morocco and Spain very soon, and spending 3 weeks, 3 week vacation. I don't think I've had that in
Did
the
you
last.
put in your form? Did you put in your form to get the travel approved, or
Oh,
did you ask for permission so you could go book the ticket?
Yeah. Well, no, I asked my wife, and she said yes. Let's go on vacation.
That's all you
No,
need.
but that's really my aspiration. It's to find, it's always good to want to grow and earn more, and improve everything we're doing in terms from business standpoint. But honestly, what I'm very passionate about right now is spending quality time with my kids. They're 2 and 4 years old. I know I'm gonna close my eyes, open them, and they're gonna be 18, going to university. And so this is my commitment and my passion. Spend time with the family.
Wow. So the trip, more time with them, building those memories, creating those memories.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're a dream catcher, man. You're a dream catcher. The thought that you'd walk away from, you haven't told me this, but what I suspect is a 6-figure plus job to go run your own thing, put together a crazy portfolio, build a property management company, get your general contractor's license, do some sales. And people may be asking, why is he doing all the things? Well, they're all related.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to do anything else, and everything feeds the other thing. He's not
Absolutely.
building a bunch of stuff from scratch. He's just like, there's an
Start random.
opportunity, there's a gap, and I don't want to rely on other people to do that part, right? Because when you do that, that loss of control creates inefficiency and headaches, and you impacts your ability to deliver to the folks that you're serving.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it really uncomfortable for somebody who's committed to delivering results. So the ability to create money outside of your job is the game. And once you do that, you can create an amazing amount of freedom, but you need the discipline to stay true to your work. And I mean, I don't know what else we can say other than congratulations, my brother. I'm super
Thank you,
excited for
brother.
you and
Mhm.
all the things that are going to come on the backside. I believe you're just getting started, and now I know who to call when I'm trying to get into Miami and see what's going on and see the deals that are
Please
moving
do.
around. I always ask my guests one question at the end, and I think you'll have a phenomenal answer for us. What's the one thing you want the listeners to take away from this episode?
Work on your freedom. Build your freedom and plan it. If it's gonna take 3 years, 5 years to do it one step at a time. Build that vision that you want to work towards. And like you mentioned, generates incremental income beyond what you're getting from your employment. And work on as many streams of income as possible. And that's a very important one. So if I had to pick one thing, just generate multiple streams of income. That's the best way to build wealth and security over time.
Now, when you say multiple streams, are you saying they need to go get their contractor's license, their real estate license, and start doing investments? Or are you saying learn how to buy multifamily buildings and then buy some properties? What's the guidance there? Because people get confused on this multiple streams.
So when I mention multiple streams, is pretty much multiple. It depends. For each person, it's different. But one property could be one stream of income, right? You buy a second property, that's a second stream of income. You can offer consulting services on the side using your expertise. That's another stream of income. You can write a book and sell it. That's another stream of income. That's what I'm referring to by multiple streams of income.
Roger that. Mehdi, outstanding job, man. Thank you so much for giving us the social proof that your dreams can be real. And to the listeners, your dreams should be real, man. We'll talk to you guys on the next episode.
Thank you for joining the tribe today. We would love to hear from you. Please don't forget to rate, like, and share. Perhaps someone you know could benefit from what we've discussed. Until the next time, remember that your dreams should be real.